I love this song. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you. We didn't hear the lyrics. That's the bubble-headed bleach blonde who comes on at 5. That's by the Eagles. Thank you for playing that, and thank you for being here this week for another fun edition of Deborah Kobylt Live. We decided to play the Eagles because this weekend I was at Dodger Stadium. They had this great forum. The entire weekend they had live concerts. The Eagles played. It was phenomenal. And then the next night they had Fleetwood Mac and Journey, and it was just Earth, Wind, and Fire. It was such an incredible weekend, and it's still on my mind. So thank you for playing that. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Where's your microphone? You're not okay. That's okay. That's my board guy.
Sorry
okay.
about that.
We're getting a little bit of a late. We're getting a late start here today. Okay, here we go. So, right now on the phone is my friend and colleague Dan Lothian. He is the founder of Little Park Media. He's the contributing correspondent of the PBS show Religion and Ethics. I know him as the CNN White House correspondent, Dan Lothian, and we even go back before that, from before we both worked at CNN. Thank you for joining us, Dan.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here.
Also on the phone is your business partner. Also on the phone is your business partner, Jimmy Young. He's a sports director for SnapCall Sports, right? Is that what it's called? SnapCall Sports, which is an interactive app that creates the game within the game as you're watching sports. Did I get that right?
That's exactly right. Interactive television. It's the next wave in development of television.
Oh, it's very exciting stuff. So I'm glad to have you both on. But what you're both here to talk about is the explosion of media and people who want to be talk show hosts, people who want to be podcasters, whether it's video or audio. And you've both come up with this idea, and you have a training series. Your company is the American Broadcast Coaches. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
And you're right, Deborah. It really does. And we're taking advantage of technology and how fast it's been moving down the highway, if you will. Look back to when you and I both got into business, back in the days when you had that apartment with no furniture in the living room. Remember that? The shag carpet?
No one ever believes that I made you sleep on the floor on this awful yellow shag carpet, but I gave you a pink sheet to sleep on, and nothing more.
You remember that? I don't remember that.
I do, because
back in the day.
No, you want to know why? No, I just had to say.
Why?
Because that pink sheet later became a pink ghost that I had to cut little eyes out of it and give it to John. John was a ghost for Halloween because we couldn't think of a costume for him. That sheet has made the rounds.
Sold it online eventually. I guess he sold it. Dan Lothian slept on these sheets. But anyway.
So yeah, back in the day when and it wasn't long ago that day, by the way, where
that
you just sort of.
That long ago.
No.
Exactly. But look back at what it required to get your story on the air back then. We had to have a 3/4-inch deck. You had to have this giant Ikegami camera that was heavy and messed up the shoulders of a lot of photographers. Then you had these giant deck-to-deck. I mean, they looked like giant air conditioning units that you needed in order to edit your piece. And then you needed a giant truck and a satellite you had to book satellite time just for that to get back to a control room somewhere. Really, it required an army of people to get it on the air. And what Jimmy and I and many other people are doing is turning to technology that allows you to broadcast, in essence, to people for free. All you have to do is come up with the content. Facebook Live and Twitter and others have this unbelievable opportunity for anyone who has the skill to just open your mouth and start talking.
That's right. Open your mouth and start talking. But you do have to have something to say. I mean, I find that wherever I go, everyone has a podcast. The dog has a podcast. Grandma and Grandpa have a podcast, which is smart, by the way. But it seems like everyone is out there trying to get their message across, which I think is brilliant. And finally, you're right. We live in a time where you don't have to wait to get a job. You don't have to wait for someone to say yes. You just get out there and you put your message out there. And if it's video, there's so many different kinds of cameras that you can get. You're right that you can go live on Facebook. Twitter, there's so many, YouTube, there's so many ways to do it. But a lot of people may not have the voice, if you will. They may not be trained, they may be nervous. So part of what you're doing over at American Broadcast Coaches is you're giving people the tools to do that, right? Like, let's talk right now to Jimmy. I know that your specialty is sports, correct?
That is correct. And I created a methodology a few years back that gets people to be themselves on camera and gets them to actually talk to each other, not text.
Right.
So it really is broader than that, right? It's communication.
It really is. Well, I think that's one of the things that all of us have recognized, that after our broadcast careers are over, what are these skills that we did as hosts of shows, as broadcasters, sportscasters, that are transferable to the real world? And one of them, obviously, is public speaking and saying as much as possible in as few words as possible. Being an efficient communicator is something we all strive to do.
Okay.
And unfortunately, Deb, you probably know this, but we have created an entire generation that walks around texting and not talking. And I've created a methodology to fix that.
Did I just hear you say get your message across with very little words? Because that's not me. I talk a lot. So, and I know that I'm part of this venture too, right? I mean, I am sort of heading up the part of American broadcast coaches for learning how to be an entertainment reporter, an entertainment correspondent, how to get somebody's attention on the red carpet. You know, what kind of questions to ask them so that you don't turn them off, so that in fact, you know, you grab their attention so that they want to talk to you. It's a skill, and it looks easier than it really is. But it's kind of easy to teach somebody how to do it. You know what I mean? You don't need a 4-year college. You know, this is in a way a trade, don't you think?
It is, well,
yes. She's right about that. It's a trade. Yeah.
It is a trade, but I think what we want to do is we want to be able to help kids get into this early. So this is something that Jimmy's great at dealing with young people and get them excited about the industry through these courses. This is also good to supplement what's already happening on the college level. Some colleges may not have a whole lot of hands-on when it comes to learning to be a broadcaster. So this course allows that. Also, once you graduate from college and maybe you want to hone your skills, you want to just refine, you want to polish a little bit, our courses will allow you to do that. So Jimmy has this 40-plus part course already on sports broadcasting. We have one that we're going to be in development on news, as you pointed out. Also for entertainment reporting, you're going to be putting that up there. But also
Joe Joyce on weather.
Exactly, weather forecasters. So we also want to eventually get to voiceover work as well. So offering to all levels, from kids to maybe senior citizens, maybe even senior citizens who want to come back and learn a little bit about the medium.
Hey, look,
broadcaster.
I'm over 40, and I would love to be the anchor for the senior citizen channel. I mean, you know, could you see them? They would love me.
They're the only ones watching TV.
Right. They're the only ones that are still going to be watching it, and I'll just sit there and deliver the news to Sam and Ethel every night, and, you know, there will be a job for me forever. But getting back to this, so, you know, I did a little research on podcasting, in particular video podcasting. It's the number one growth industry out there. It's number one. And I found that fascinating in terms of the communication business. I mean, everyone is doing this, whether they go to a studio, whether they're doing it from home. So they need this skill. Can you walk me through, like, how many parts is it? Let's say for the sports. Let's talk about that one, because I'm pretty sure we have that one up and running. Isn't that correct?
That's correct. There are actually 2 parts to the, so you want to be a sportscaster course that is available on AmericanBroadcastCoaches.com. And the first 2 parts really go into getting yourself to be comfortable on camera, getting yourself sensitized to the fact that nobody likes how they look or how they sound the first time that they are on camera or recorded for whatever reason. And also how to use your voice with the proper inflection, make sure you pronounce words correctly. The intonation is also a very important factor where you change the rhythm and pattern of how you deliver your words. And as Mom used to say, open your mouth when you talk. You must enunciate so people can understand. And those are really the basics of all skills in broadcast.
And it's those 2 parts, but it's small chunks, little chunks of 2 minutes.
Right. Well, we all know that the attention spans of young people are very, actually, I think 2 minutes may be stretching it. But the point is, the philosophy of how we teach this is it's experiential in nature. Here's the skill. Here's how you do the skill. Now go do the skill and send us your video, and we'll critique it, review it, and get back to you with what we think you can improve upon or how we might do it. And we talked about 2 parts. The second part of my Sportscaster's course is totally dedicated to play-by-play and color analysis.
And about 40 videos, right?
There are 40 lesson videos and another 34 example videos that supplement these lessons. And you've seen my app. I tend to be somewhat entertaining and informative when I'm on camera. Not much different than I am around the office, I guess.
I think you're terrific. And again, let's plug that app a little bit. SnapCall Sports, right? And tell me a little bit about SnapCall Sports.
Well, SnapCall Sports is an interactive TV app that engages the viewers of live events. And we rolled it out as a sports entity because, let's face it, everybody thinks they know as much about sports as the experts that they see on TV, and they also think they know about as much as the coaches on the sidelines and in the dugout. Well, this app actually tests your sports knowledge, and not just trivia and facts and figures, but your predictive knowledge. What's going to happen next in the game? It's a free app, downloadable, of course, at the Apple Play Store and the Google Play Station, whatever. Google and Apple, you can do it. It's free. It's fun to do. And we're looking forward to rolling that out, too. But I'll tell you, Dan and I are here to talk about American broadcast coaches because that's what we're most passionate about right now.
And right now, again, you've got the sports. And we're going to play a little clip from the sports in about a minute or so. You've got the sports, you've got the news, you've got the entertainment, you've got weather as well, right? So what, how to be a weather person? That's a great one.
Yeah, and you know, what's interesting is that, as Jimmy alluded to this earlier, there are so many of us who've been in the business decades, and some were forced out, others left on their own, and now there's, you want to give back, you want to do something, you still want to be connected to the industry. So we've had people coming to us looking to get involved, if even part-time or just an occasional class that they could be participating in. Because this is not just, right now we're focused on online, but we also want to have in-person sessions or one-on-one workshop. There's so many things that we can do, and there are a lot of people out there, great people with a lot of hundreds of years of expertise together between them who can participate and help us and try to help other people further their career.
I know that when I help...
I've been able to...
Oh, go ahead.
But, Deb, I just want to say I've had the fortunate experience that I've been able to mentor hundreds of young people that are in the business right now, and I get so excited and Joan when I see one of my former students on a Chicago station or on a Providence, Rhode Island station or here in the Boston, Massachusetts one. I'm hearing and seeing some of the young people that I work getting their first job, and that just makes me so. That's what I live for.
Do you also help people, and because sometimes people get stumped, they don't know how to look for a job, or even just help people sort of do their own, get their own message out there, and then grow their own social media, and they can either continue with that, or that's a great platform for getting a job at a traditional TV or radio station, correct?
That's correct, and I think we see this as a multi-tiered process that we are rolling out, starting off with the sports broadcaster program, rolling out those other programs that we talked about, but we really see this getting more involved in the business life. Someone who's out there looking to get a job, helping them make sure that they're their digital file is the best file possible. Helping them with tips about what areas of the country. We're not agents, and we don't plan on being agents, but we know so much about the industry that we can help guide people, no matter what level they're at. If they've been in business for a while, maybe their career's stalled, we can help point them in the right direction. Sometimes it might just be recommending a good agent, telling them how they can tweak their video to be a little stronger, maybe even helping them with on-camera coaching. Get
Absolutely.
that up to the next level as well. So all of that will be part of American Broadcast Coaches as well, but now rolling out this effort which focuses on online sports.
How did we get that name? That's such a great name, American Broadcast Coaches. I would have thought that it was taken. It's brilliant, and I'm glad that we have it. Can we go to a clip a little bit? So, and right now, can you walk us through? Are they able to hear it?
Yeah, they should be able to hear it.
Okay, so we're going to play a little bit of the sports curriculum, if you will.
Goodness gracious, can you give me a hint of what it is so that I won't be surprised?
We'll listen to it.
All right.
Back to Martin. Gives to Langenbrunner. Fires. Score!
So you want to be a sportscaster, huh? You want to be the next Bob Costas, Chris Berman, or Aaron Andrews. If you are going to speak for a living, you better want it. Now, you can learn the right way, right now, from professionals. Along the way, you will improve your public speaking skills, build your confidence, and learn how to speak like a broadcaster. Best of all, you can do this at your own pace, right from the comfort of your own room. You will be introduced to the skills professional broadcasters practice on a daily basis. Most importantly, you will discover and practice communication skills that you can use for the rest of your life, whether you end up in broadcasting or not. Hi, I'm Jimmy Young, a former Emmy Award-winning sportscaster in New England for 35 years. Over the past 8 years, I've created a simple and fun program to train the next generation of broadcast talent. Even if you are not interested in a career in broadcasting, you will enjoy this course and learn something at the same time.
All right, let's bring it
in
down.
this online course, you will practice broadcaster skills by doing the skills. You can create your own sports reports, call the greatest moments in sports history, learn how to host your own show, and if you want, create your own YouTube channel.
I love this. I think this is so brilliant. So how long is it? That intro is about a minute or two. I mean, people get the idea just from watching it. First of all, you're terrific, Jimmy. So I'm glad we got to see that.
Isn't he great?
Yeah. I mean, the energy is amazing. The second that you came up there, I thought, oh, this guy's terrific. I mean, I love your energy. And
his office is right across the hall from mine, and so imagine every morning when I come in, all of that.
So I have a question. How do you get someone, let's say they want to do their own show and not wait for somebody else to pick them up and hire them? How do they even get a media credential? How do they even do that? Let's say they've gone through your course, but they want to get access. How do you help them with that?
Well, that's actually more challenging than it sounds, because really, truly, the people giving out those credentials really want to do much more due diligence to see exactly what you're reaching. And obviously, as a new company, we're going to give you a certificate of completion, but it's really going to be the next step for you to get you into a commercial radio or television station that will allow you to get that credential.
And I can jump on that a little bit here. I have a friend who I've been mentoring and helping. He's a professor who is also a former college-level lacrosse player. Has great depth of knowledge when it comes to lacrosse. And so we've been doing podcasting and different things like that, but he wanted to get out there. And so it was wonderful that he was able to connect with a lacrosse website, one of the big lacrosse websites, and then was able to convince them to allow him to post his podcast on their site. Because of that connection, he was able to get a credential to go and cover some big events that were happening right here in Boston alongside other reporters, and then he interviewed people and put it on the podcast. So, when we think about the old model that have to only focus on getting on a network television station,
which is so frustrating. It's frustrating.
It can be frustrating, and there's so many people all trying to get into the same place. You can do a lot of that by focusing on some of these niche websites and offer your reporting experience. And those are kind of things that you sit down and say, hey, listen, you can maybe get to hone your skills a little bit by focusing on this small website that maybe has a niche college sport, a particular, maybe it's curling or something like that, but become the curling expert. Whatever it is, it gets you out there, you get practice, and then you can use that to jump forward.
Well, I also like the idea that if you've got an interest, you've got a voice, or if you want to be, and again, this is not necessarily just video. It's audio as well. So if you want to do radio and you want to do just a voiceover podcast, it teaches people to do that. And that you can pretty much do anywhere. You can do a play-by-play almost anywhere, including in the stands, if you will, right? You can go live at any time, which I find very, very exciting. I just find this entire medium and this entire course actually to be exciting because so many people have to wait for a position to open. Now you don't have to. You take a course if you feel like you really don't have the skills and you hone in on it. You guys and myself, we're getting together with the people that are the students. And then from there, giving their feedback and they give us feedback as to what they're finding when they get out there. I mean, it's a whole new medium. I wish it was like that. It hasn't even been like that. Only, 5 years now, really, people are getting into this stuff.
It is remarkable how far the technology has taken us in such a short period of time. And, who would have ever thought that we'd be walking around with an editing studio in our back pocket? Oh, yeah, there's also a video camera. Oh, yeah, it's also a microphone. and be able to tell stories with your smartphone. I mean, I'm just fascinated by the technology. And I'll tell you another thing is we tend to learn a little bit from our students, too, about what the technology can do. And then we just kind of guide them from there.
Yeah, well, we have to. I mean, I think
Right.
all professors learn from their students, and the students need the professors as well. I mean, it's a great relationship. Dan, I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, just to jump on that point you made earlier, that it's not just about video, but in person. We have 2 podcasts there, and so we have the facility. So folks want to come in and get additional training on how to do a podcast, and or just have us produce it for them. That's something we offer. Again, this is something that years ago, if you had to put together a radio studio or a TV studio, would have taken hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now for $1,000.
You know what, Dan? The connection has not been so good, and it's. I can't hear you that well. You're breaking up a lot. Tell me a little bit about how many. It's 2 courses in particular, and how long is each one?
Yeah, I mean, well, I was saying each course is about 40 parts to the course, and then about 30 other company videos that belong to that. But in addition to that, I was saying that we also have 2 podcasts and all podcasts. It helps putting together a podcast.
Right. And a podcast is really a talk show. And there is a lesson on how to host your own talk show. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the talk show. I'm the host of the talk show. Today on the talk show, we have so-and-so. I mean, really and truly, that's how you get in and out of a talk show.
Right.
And that's a pretty basic lesson, but it's one that you really have to practice over and over and over again.
And I also,
isn't that what we've all learned?
it's true. I also believe in being genuine, because if everybody's robotic and they just say, "Hello, I'm Deborah. Welcome to Deborah Kobylt Live," it's just boring. You know, I always like to sort of assess what a person's like and work with their personality. If they're sort of high octane, let them go. You know,
Right.
and if they're a little more subdued, that's okay too. So, you know, it's you can sort of tailor it for whoever you are. I just think this is great. Now, you said there's 40 parts, 40 segments, you said, to each part. Is that right?
There's 40 different instructional videos, all of them under 3 minutes long.
Okay.
And there is accompanying text and assignments for each one. So, like I said, the basic premise is, here's the skill, here's how you do the skill, now go do the skill, and we'll review it.
Right.
That's really the basic concept.
And it also is really creating a niche broadcast as well, because there are certain segments of sports that people want to hear. Same with the news, you know, and you can really hone in on and grab an audience according to what you're interested in. Same with entertainment. It's not all created equal. I just think this is brilliant. So when are we going to be working on the entertainment one, guys?
As soon as we can get people signed up, we're moving along. We want to take this kind of one step at a time. We are right now trying to move beyond just our subscription service and move into licensing some of our products to colleges and universities. And so as this continues to expand, that's what we'll be adding all the other layers. We look forward to having you as part of this bit. Just point it out. So anybody can grab a microphone and stand on a red carpet, but there's so much more. Sometimes it's the nuance. Someone like you who has all those years of experience in this covered entertainment, it brings so much to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, guys, I have to tell you, we are having trouble. I'm hearing every third or fourth word. So on that, I'm actually going to have to let you guys go. I don't quite know what's going on there. It could be on our end, you know.
You sound clear on this end.
Very clear on this end.
Yeah, I'm just having trouble hearing you. Are we having a problem in our studio or what?
I can talk with Tony.
Yeah, well, okay. So at
There's the
that,
broadcast studios again.
yeah, no, here we go. Okay, and you also need to have a segment on each one. What to do when the audio or video screws up, like how to get out of that one.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
more
We're
often
producing
than
that right now.
Okay, look, this thing is live, so more often, you know, a lot of people, by the way, they'll go live and then later on they'll edit it down so it's perfect. No, not me. I just let all the bumps and warts just get out there, and it's fine with me. And then we can show our students. It's like, now, guys, here's what to do when something gets screwed up. So there you go. Any
There you
other
go.
parting words? Anything else that you want to do with this, and where else you want to take it?
Well, absolutely. In fact, where I want to take it is get you on a plane, get you out to Boston so you can help us start recording our training. But we also have Friday afternoon live Facebook programs that Dan and I do out of this Little Park Media studio. So if you go to Facebook and you go to American Broadcast Coaches and friend us, subscribe to us, like us, you know the whole drill. We're building this from scratch, and we appreciate every one of our new friends, including you.
And let me tell you, that's not easy to do, building an audience from scratch. I mean, I know plenty of people are out there buying stuff, but to build it from scratch and build it organically, it's actually a challenge that I enjoy. You know, it's not so easy, but I enjoy it. So I imagine that you also sort of help people and give them tools on how to do that as well, how to maybe go viral, right?
And we're having fun. That's the thing. We're having a fun time doing this. We're not covering news and sports on a daily basis like we. This gives us the opportunity to work on the business side as well as the business side.
So if people are interested in your courses, how do they get in touch with you? It's AmericanBroadcastCoaches.com?
.com. Yep.
Yep. And on that website, you'll actually find a phone number. You'll find an email. It's info@AmericanBroadcastCoaches.com. And one of us will personally respond.
Okay. And you've got that going on. You've got the show on Friday. You're involved in all sorts of the media business. And I just find it, like I said, an exciting time. There's a lot going on. And yes, I need to get out there to Boston. Or better yet, why don't you guys come out here and we'll shoot it out here in Hollywood since it's an entertainment
Sounds
segment.
good. Yeah, we could do that too.
That would actually be a lot of
people out there.
Yeah, we could even do it right here in this studio, to be honest with you. I mean, we're here at the Sunset Gower Studios at the UBN Studios, and gosh, it's actually really exciting. This is where they shoot Scandal and all kinds of shows. So that'd be a lot of fun, you guys. So why don't we talk about that? Anyway, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
thanks for having us. This was fun.
This is a lot of fun. Thank you for calling in, and we'll talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's really smart, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't on our end because
that was really, really smart because I have to tell you, what happened? I think this is one of those shows we are going to have to edit down because there have been so many little bumps in this one. So technical bumps, but you know, that's what you do. You also have to learn how to get through that kind of stuff too. So, I'd like to hear from you guys. So if you would, why don't you, email me if you have anything to say, Deborah, that's DEBORAH at DeborahKobylt.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have any ideas and thoughts on this show or any others, it'd be fun. Anyway, see you next week. Bye.